as you read by that title and you seen by that thumbnail, this is my May-June reading wrap-up video. Now, I know what y'all are saying. Girl, you 2 months and a couple days too late with both of these wrap-up videos. But y'all, after the month of May, well, yeah, towards the end, I was not home to film that wrap-up video. And June just ended. It's July 5th. So I'm not too late on that. So we're going to combine them. Yeah, we're going to combine them. There will not be any spoilers. I am going to try to get better at doing spoiler-free wrap-up videos because I had to realize not everybody it's okay or like wrap-up videos with spoilers, and it kind of limits who all can watch the wrap-up video and get my opinions on it. So no spoilers. If I slip up and spoil something, I will put it on the screen, but overall no. And that goes for TikTok and YouTube. Just descriptions and little stuff you can find out online or from the author's pages regarding the books is, in my opinions, on them too, as well as my rankings and if I recommend them or not and why as well. So yeah, the first book that we read in May was Lights Out. I also have a reading vlog from my May TBR on that. I did cut it short because I ended up doing a separate reading vlog for the other books, the last 5 books in this month. So I suggest y'all go see those. Now, this is Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I gave this 3 stars, but I recommend it maybe. I say maybe because if you're not into rom-com, you're not gonna like it. If you kind of got your feet in or out like me, it's a hit or miss. It was a hit. It was a hit slash for me. You'll get my thoughts on the reading vlog. There are spoilers, by the way, but I enjoyed it at first. I love Josh Hammond. He's not one of my book boyfriends, but I did love him. I love the FMC Allie. I loved her occupation. I loved all of that. But as far as Josh's backstory when it comes to his father, I kind of wanted us to get a little bit more from that. And also the little plot that was in it once that was over with, because it introduced the MMC for Caught Up, which is Allie's cousin. I was like, okay, this could have ended in at least 1 or 2 episodes. We didn't need the rest of it. The funny parts of the book, I actually enjoyed them. I laughed from the Gilmore Girls coming. I laughed at all of that. It was funny to me. It was not cringy. It's just I started to get bored. If you are thinking about getting into dark romance and you want a little something to take the off of it, this is a good start. Yeah, that's why I gave it 3 stars, because it was not bad. I enjoyed the book at the beginning, but then I started to get bored. The spice, it was good. I like the spice. I love the spice actually. Yeah, that's all my thoughts for this. I will be continuing the series. I already have Caught Up. It will be in my anticipated reads vlog. Yeah. Now, the second book that I read in May was Flock by Kate Stewart. It's the first book of the Ravenhood series. I gave it 3.5 stars, but I recommended yes. I was told from Book Talk that it was a dark romance. I didn't get dark romance from that at all, but maybe that's because with my dark romance journey, I started off with the Lord series. I started off dark, so maybe that's why I might be desensitized, but I didn't get dark from it. If you are not into Wachu slash like reverse harem, you're not gonna like it at all. But if you like it, with the exception that there's not favoritism, you'll like it, because I did. I did give it 3.5 stars because I didn't like the development of her and Dominic's relationship. I just felt like, okay, y'all go from not really liking each other to all of a sudden Sean is sharing you with him. You're okay. It didn't. I didn't like that part. I didn't feel like that relationship was well developed. Her and Sean's relationship was well developed. It wasn't much of a slow burn, but it wasn't just instant love. It didn't eke me out. The FMC was kind of a naive girl to me, which I don't have a problem with naive FMCs, but once it gets a little bit like, girl, come on, that irritates me. However, she did win me over at the end when a situation happened and she broke up with them, and when they tried to come back because of what they had did, she didn't go for it. The third book that we read in the month of May was Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I rated this 4 stars. Would I recommend it? Yes. This book follows FMC Ophelia Graham. She is now a necromancer. It starts off with her mother dying, and she ended up taking her mom's power, so now she's the necromancer. Her sister Genevieve runs away. Ophelia, being an elder sister that she is, she ended up following a lead to Phantasma. Phantasma is like this supernatural house that's ran by devils, demons. It has like the little magic system and all of that in the beginning. So when you get this book, you will get that to understand what the rates are and the demons and the devils, and you will understand all of that. But in Phantasma, she met MMC Blackwell. What hooked me to this book, each level in this house follows a circle of hell. If you read Dante's Inferno, you would get details on the 9 circles of hell. I read Dante's Inferno my sophomore year in college in my ancient literature class, and I enjoyed it. So I was like, hey, this follows that. I'm going to read it. Let's enjoy it. And I did enjoy it. We started the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Thorns and Roses. This follows Farah Arkarian. She is a human, mortal lands. I don't want to give anything away, but if you want spoilers, you can go watch part 1 and part 2 of my reading vlog with this entire series. Something happened. She hunts for the family, so she's good with the bow and arrow. She's out in the woods trying to get food for her father and her 2 eldest sisters. That action of what she killed has consequences that led to her being dragged to the fairylands, Prithium. You have different courts. You have spring court, summer court, autumn court, winter court, day court, dawn court, night court. She's in the spring court. You also have this place called Under the Mountain. To learn more about that, you need to read this. I don't want to give anything away. I want y'all to have that nostalgic feeling of reading this series like I did. I enjoyed this. I gave this book 4 stars. Would I recommend it? Yes. Now, I can admit, before I read this series, I didn't get much spoilers from TikTok. Only thing I was seeing on TikTok was about Feyre and Rhysand. So when I read this and I seen who Tamlin was, I was like, who is Tamlin? Who is this? Couldn't give it 4.5 stars or 5 stars because I was underwhelmed with Feyre and Tamlin's relationship. I just didn't get the end game vibes or the from them, but I did love the plot. I was one of those people who I got into it with the first book. A lot of people say that when they read ACOTAR, the first book, you gotta get to the first book. Then no, I love the first book. Then we continued the series, A Court of Mist and Fury. Now Feyre is high fae. She's high fae. She's made. She starts off the book with Tamlin, ends the book off of Rhysand. Definitely got in-game vibes from them. I love the plot. I gave this 4.5 stars. What I recommend is, again, yes, I do love Rhysand. I love him better for her than Tamlin. It's so much that I want to say, but it's going to spoil things. I want y'all to go into these completely blind. The plot twist, I feel like it was multiple twists that kept hitting me back to back that I was like, what? Again, part 1, part 2. Get to it. You can see Feyre is dealing with becoming fae. She didn't ask to be turned to fae, so she's dealing with that. She's dealing with the things that she had to do under the mountain. So she's dealing with a lot of mental health and depression. Tamlin, he was pitiful. He wasn't doing what he needed to do as her fiance. Rhysand and his inner circle, which we do get introduced to Mora, Amren, Cassian, and Azriel. We get introduced to the inner circle, Rhysand's inner circle. We get more of the Night Court, Valaris, as well as the city and the Night Court. I did want more from Rhysand's point of view because I am a girly who loves to be in a man's head. I love to be in the MC's head just as much as the FMC. And we only got 1 chapter of Rhysand's point of view. Of course, we continue the series with the Court of Wings and Ruin, 4.5 stars. We get more of Feyre and Rhysand's love story. I did love the plot in it. You get more of the war ethics of it from Hybrid. I can say that the enemy in book 2 and this book 3 is Hybrid. Hey, book 1, Amarantha. You can easily find that out. Yes, there is the romance between Feyre and Rhysand, but you get more from battles, war. You get all of that. 2 deaths happened. I'm not going to say who. One of them made sense to happen. She should have stayed dead. Because now, when I continue the series, if somebody die, I'm probably not going to cry, because I'm going to automatically feel like they're going to come back to life, because nobody stays dead in this book, apparently. Well, in this series, I was getting bored of being a Feyre's head. I was getting bored. I was tired of being a Feyre's head. That's why I couldn't get this 5 stars. I would recommend this. The novella, A Court of Frost and Starlight. I don't rate novellas because what is there to rate? There was no plot in this. It was just giving you the aftermath of the war with Hybrid. It's so peaceful. There's no conflict in this. You don't need to read this. I didn't rate it. Would I recommend it? Maybe. We finished off the month of May with a bang. A Court of Silver Flames. I gave it 5 stars. And I reread it. Would I recommend it? Yes. Only thing that discombobulated me was how from the other books we went from first person point of view to third person with Nesta and Cassian. But after a while, I was enjoying the plot and their romance and relationships so much that I didn't really care that it was in third person. I was one of the people who started out the series hating Nesta, and then I started to like her in Wings and Ruin. And then she started to piss me off in Frost and Starlight. And then I started to love her in this book because I started to understand her. And she had a lot of character development. She had some character growth. I loved her character arc. I loved her and Cassian more than Feyre and Rhysand. Cassian is one of my book boyfriends. In this book, you get to see Nesta dealing with her depression, and you start to understand why she acts and behaves the way that she does. You see how she's coping with a situation that happened in Wings and Ruin that really mentally and emotionally affected her, and you see her grow from that. You can read this and be somebody who understands that and still dislikes Nesta. You can be somebody that still misunderstands her because you probably haven't been through something similar or what she's been through. Or you can be like me, somebody that understands her and you grow to like her. I love her. So far, she's my top FMC in this series. If you go into this expecting Nesta and Cassian's relationship to be like Feyre and Tamlin or Feyre and Rhysand, you're going to be disappointed. Of course, they butt heads a lot. They argue a lot. They don't really get along much, but they boom. It's no cuddles. It ain't all of that. It's just that, and it develops into love and something more. You get to learn more about the Illyrians. Also, this journey that they have called the Blood Right. You also get introduced to new characters, Gwen and Emery. And with Gwen coming into the picture, who is a priestess, you get crumbs of and a possibility of another relationship. So there was Azriel and Elaine, and now there could be an Azriel and Gwen. I am team Azriel and Gwen. I feel like she's gonna be my second favorite FMC, coming behind Nesta. She might end up taking Nesta's spot. That's all I'm really gonna give y'all regarding A Court of Silver Flames, because I don't want to give away anything. Y'all see how I tapped? I want y'all to have that same experience with this. I also reread this, so yeah, there's that. Then we get into June. We started off June with Enchantress by Kaylee Smith. It's a sequel to Phantasma. It follows Ophelia's younger sister Genevieve. This is after the Phantasma events. I gave this 4.5 stars, and yes, I would recommend it. We get introduced to MMC Shadow Daddy Rowan. You know, he quenched my thirst. Genevieve is still searching for these answers after her mother's death in book 1, and she goes to another country, a completely different country, to this supernatural house, and this is where she meets Rowan and his siblings, the Silvers, as well as his father. His father was her mother's friend. They knew one another, and that led Genevieve to this place. The devil has this event called Enchantra for the Silvers. The winner gets freedom while the other siblings are in hell somewhere suffering until the next event. Genevieve ended up getting involved in this event because she had to marry Rowan. If she didn't marry Rowan, sister girl was gonna die because she didn't leave when they told her to leave. being naive. That's what happens. And they end up falling in love. Their marriage of convenience slash safety ended up being the real deal when it came down to these games. I also immersive read this, so I read it like this while listening to the audiobook. After we read Enchantra, we reread A Court of Silver Flame. Again, 5 stars. I would definitely recommend it. It wasn't even a month later and I reread it. So that should tell y'all enough right there. After my reread, I went to contemporary romance. I revisited the Twisted series. It took me so long to get to this book because of BookTok. I know you can't blame BookTok for everything, but I'm blaming y'all in this sense because I was only getting negative reviews for this. Everybody saying, oh, I hate Josh, I hated this book. Like I always say, reading is subjective. They might hate it, I might love it. I read it, I gave it 4 stars. It's the same rating as Twisted Love, and it's a half a rating under Twisted Games. This book follows Josh Chan, who is Ava Chan's brother. Ava is the FMC in book 1, and Jules Ambrose, who is Ava's best friend, one of her best friends. They hate one another. It's like the enemies to lovers. It's not the enemies to lovers that I prefer, but then I realized, okay, the enemies to lovers that I prefer, it goes for like romantic fantasy as well as dark romance. It started off with them, and they ended up falling in love. I like Josh Chan. I like him more than Alex Volkov. Don't fight me. Yeah, I like him more than Alex Volkov. He's my number 3 MMC in this series. Josh is a nurse. Jules is an upcoming lawyer. Jules' ex-boyfriend, Max, is trying to blackmail her for said painting that Josh has, that we learn about this painting in book 1 because everybody says it's a monstrosity, it looks a mess, it's horrible. And that's the painting that Jules' ex-boyfriend is trying to blackmail her for. And he's trying to blackmail her with a tape. I'm one of those people who will let y'all know you might like this. Don't follow the hate train for this book and Josh Chan. Read it. Give it a chance. And we finished off the Twisted series with Twisted Lies. I gave this 5 stars, so I recommend it absolutely. Christian Harper, the man that you are, my number 1 MMC in this series. Stella, my number 1 FMC in this series. I love y'all. Christian Harper is Rhysand's, well, he was Rhysand's boss. He also owns the security company. He's a computer genius. Stella, she's also this social media star, and she's into fashion. This is fake dating. I had no idea that this was fake dating. This is my first ever fake dating book reading, and I love the trope now. I understand the hype. I love their fake dating partnership, might as well say, because they had a whole contract on it. It just went into them actually falling in love. I'm not too keen with the Insta lust or love stuff. Like, if a MMC is obsessed with the FMC, I need a valid reason for him to be obsessed from the beginning of the book. His reasoning, it made sense, but then it also was written so well, I wasn't turned off by it or cringed out by it. If anything, I wanted more. I inhaled this book, y'all. I inhaled it. I was tabbing and everything. I immersive read it as well. Y'all, I'm just thinking about Christian Harper. I immediately ran to read King of Wrath. I gave it 3.5 stars. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I recommend it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I love Dante Russo, and I love Vivian, but it's just, it was kind of a miss for me. It was a hit slash miss for me. It took a minute for me to get into it. I will be continuing the series though. I grew to be intrigued with the side characters. Tai Young, yes. Vivian's best friends, Sloane and Isabel, yes. So the contemporary romance, although I said I was going to continue the Kings of Sin series, I was just like, you know what? I am going to go to some dark romance. Hooked by Emily McIntyre. It's the first book of the Never After series. This series is like Disney retellings in an adult version where the villain gets the girl. This is like a Peter Pan Captain Hook retelling. Hook is the MMC. Girl, shut up. Sorry. Hook is the MC. Wendy is the FMC. She's the daughter to Peter, who is also like a villain at the same time. I gave this 3 stars. It was just certain points that cringed me, because if you are going to be using her to get to her dad, why are you thinking about impregnating her and stuff? That was kind of strange. I just don't know how to really explain it. I just would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't recommend this. I wouldn't recommend it. The little bit of the plot, I did like it. His character arc, I wasn't really rocking with it. I wasn't really rocking with her either. The final book that we read in June, Scarred by Emily McIntyre, book 2 for the Never Actor series. It's a Lion King retelling. So you got Mufasa and Scar and supposed to be Sarabi. But hey, her name is Sarah B. I like that though. Sarah Beatrice. I gave this 3.5 stars. Would I recommend it? Yes. As I stated, it is a retelling of Lion King. So Michael he's supposed to be Mufasa. He's the king, and then there's Tristan, who is Scar. He is the prince. Their father is dead. You learn what happened to him later on in the book. Michael is not a good brother. If you watch Lion King, we love Mufasa. Mufasa, don't play with him. Boom. He was a good brother, good father, good king, all of that. In this book, he's nothing. He's pitiful. Tristan / Scar, he's supposed to be a villain, but I loved him. He was very dark. I feel like what Hook was supposed to be, Tristan was actually that. Then you got Sarah, whose father was killed, and she's trying to avenge him. So her whole objective of even coming to this kingdom is to try to marry Michael and then kill him, Tristan, and anybody of the Foster bloodline. But of course, she ended up falling in love with the Scar / Tristan. She ended up falling in love with him. He ended up becoming king, but then he ended up giving his title away to somebody. You gotta read the book to know who. And that's it. That's all I can give y'all without giving away too much. That's it. That's all the books that I read in May and June. I have already started reading for the month of July. I will be doing that wrap-up video on time. But thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video.